So this rolls into a fun topic that I want to do. We could have closed with this, but we're not going to close with this. We're going to get into something we like to call this is a new game we're going to play.
Might replace top five.
Might
It
replace
is
top
definitely
five.
replacing top five this week because
Definitely,
we didn't talk about that.
we don't have a top five. Underrated, overrated, or properly rated. Weddings.
Mm.
We're both married. I think this is a fair conversation to have. Like,
Properly rated. It's tough because it depends on the wedding. Every wedding is different.
I agree. I think it depends on the person throwing the wedding too, right? That like you could definitely argue that they're overrated because you could take all that money and you could do a lot of other things with it.
Oh, see, I'm looking at it as going to weddings.
Oh, okay. Well, you could. Okay, that's fair.
That's how I took it.
Okay.
Weddings in general, still properly rated. To each his own. Properly rated.
Going to weddings definitely properly rated. Actually, going to weddings, I'm gonna say underrated. Free bar, like
That's
free,
what I'm
free
saying.
bar
It
and food,
depends
like,
on the wedding. Like I don't now. To be fair, I've never been invited to a wedding that wasn't open bar. So I've never had one where I had to bring my own.
My sister. So my sister she had a dry wedding, for personal reasons, and it was kind of weird to be honest. But it was fine. It was a beautiful wedding. Like the actual wedding was beautiful. The ceremony, the food was good, but it was like weird. Just like I'm not a like big dancer in front of my family. So like being there without alcohol and like them playing music where people are like, oh, go dance. I'm like, no.
Is it bad if I say
No.
my wedding overrated?
Was your wedding overrated? Let's stop.
It's because
Can't wait
it's
to
kind of
unpack
for what
this.
you just said. Like you're not big into the like I've told you this and said it on here multiple times. I don't do well in crowds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like attention on me. Now the drinking part of it, where somebody was just constantly making sure I had a drink in my hand, great. But like my wedding, I just wanted to sit at our, they give you your own table.
Right.
I just wanted to sit there and watch other people do their thing. Like that's how I am when I go out. That's what I want to do at my wedding. I didn't like being forced into a crowd. I didn't like feeling like I had responsibilities to do things. It's so stressful.
Yeah.
Like all day long, I'm stressed because like having to read my vows was like a terrifying thing to me. Even though it's people that I know, you would think it makes it easier. That was a terrifying thing for me. I literally had to chug 2 beers 5 minutes before we went out just to like be able to calm my nerves and do it. Because like the idea of getting married didn't bother me. We had already been together like 5 years, so
Right.
and we had a kid. Like nothing changed. So like that didn't bother me. It was the fact that I would have so much attention on me and be in this big crowd. Like I didn't like it. So that's why I say overrated. Like if it could have just been like I wanted, but it's weird because I wanted to have as many people there as I could possibly have. Like I wanted all my friends there, and like everybody that I've ever considered a friend, I wanted there because I wanted it to be like a party with my friends. But then when it was in the moment, I was like, I don't like this.
So I've been like patiently waiting my turn.
Sorry, I was
No. I totally get that, and it actually is something like I didn't necessarily think of, right? Because I think that it's definitely it's a personality thing. For me, for my wedding, I wanted all of that. Like I love. This sounds so self-centered and like cocky. I love the attention being on me. I love knowing there's 130 people there for me and my wife, like or me, whatever. And I'm not a big dancer. Like I'm not gonna go dance in front of my family. Like I think that's a little weird. But I still was like on the dance floor and I was like hyping people up and like it was fun. But I'm not gonna be like I kind of drew the line in some areas that I wouldn't when I'm just with my friends or like just out with my wife. But like I don't know. Like I planned that wedding so heavily because I wanted to throw like this just massive party that was just fun for everybody. Like I wanted everybody to look back at that wedding and be like, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, when I went to like my buddy, when we went to his wedding, like I was in it and everything, and like I had a blast. Like did the dancing thing. Granted, we had been drinking all day long.
Yeah.
And my little cousin, who's like my little sister, we went out to Dallas for her wedding. Like same thing. Like we had drank all day long. I guess it was because I just didn't know anybody there. I don't know. It's weird that in that like it's just kind of the same situation, but because it was mine, like I just
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because my wedding, I planned on being a little looser, and I don't know if it was nerves. I've been nervous in my life before, but something about my wedding day, I didn't like. I felt weird. They were force feeding me drinks, and I just wasn't drinking because I was like, my stomach hurt. Like I felt weird. Like I wasn't sick, and it wasn't a bad experience, but it was just like it was different.
yeah, I was good all day. We went so like night before we went out to because you don't stay together the night
Right.
before, so we went me and my groomsmen and my uncle and a couple of family members stayed out on the Gulf Coast in Biloxi and went out to Ocean Springs. Like we just drank and partied out there, and then next morning we went grab lunch, just drank at lunch. Like we just drank all day, and I don't know. I guess because we were drinking all day, like I was just in a vibe. Like I was good, but then once we got there and I had stuff to do, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like
Maybe that's what it was. So full disclosure, my wife was I get after it. Like she knows I like to party and have a good time. And she, leading up to the wedding, she kept telling me like, "Hey, don't get drunk the night before because I can't have you hungover for the wedding." And I'm like, "Okay." So the night before we all went out. I mean, we went hard, and I got drunk, but I didn't get wasted. And the next day, I was like, maybe I was hungover. I don't know. I was a little sick, but I didn't throw up or anything. But I was like just kind of tired or whatever. Had stomach hurt. And like the day of, we went to brunch, and I think like in the back of my mind, I knew, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. I had all these things to do. So like my friends are like, oh, let's drink, let's get wasted, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, no. Like I was like, yeah, let's do it. But I wasn't drinking. So I started getting questions like, are you okay? Are you nervous? Like, what's wrong? I'm like, no, dude, like I'm fine. I don't know. Like I'm just chilling. It was different.
yeah, I don't know. It just like you
All
said, it's a personality thing, I guess.